So you've got 4 weeks to get in good shape utilizing keto. Okay, maybe you want to get ready for a photo shoot, maybe you want to get beach ready, maybe you want to get pool ready, or maybe you just want to see how far you can push it in 4 weeks. Well, if you just start a traditional keto diet, you'll have good results, but I want to give you some more of a breakdown over the course of 4 weeks and the progression that you can take to get the most out of things. It's not quite as simple as starting something new and then just sticking to it. We really want to have a natural progression. We want to sort of evolve the diet, for lack of a better way of saying things, and we want to sprinkle in the right kinds of exercise. So full disclaimer on this video, this is not a meal plan. Okay, I'm not giving you exactly what to eat. I am going to give you some recommended macros, and I'm going to give you some recommended supplements and some recommended types of food. But more than anything, this is a guideline for you to follow. So you do want to use something like MyFitnessPal or some kind of calorie tracker to begin with, so you can at least get a gauge of your macros, your overall calories. Hey, you're tuned into the internet's leading performance, nutrition, and fat loss channel. We got new videos every single Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific time, and a bunch of other videos throughout the week as well. There's a red subscribe button. I really would appreciate if you hit that. That way you always see my videos. But also, there's a little bell icon. That bell icon is important that you hit. It's going to allow you to turn on notifications. And if you turn on notifications, you know whenever I go live or post a new video. Let's go ahead and let's get into the breakdown of these 4 weeks. So week 1, this is assuming that you're just totally getting started from scratch. If you're already doing an aggressive keto diet, some of this stuff might be a little bit different. But if you're starting from scratch, or maybe you're just doing a little bit of keto, this is going to be a great place to start. So week 1, I don't want you to do any intermittent fasting. A lot of people that watch my channel do intermittent fasting as well. So if you're new to this channel, that's why I mention it. I want you to keep it clean, okay? Just keto. We're not doing fasting for the first week, and this is for good reason, okay? I'll explain in a little bit. I want you to stay right at your basal metabolic rate. Now, you might be wondering, how the heck do I figure this out? The simplest way to figure it out and get a rough idea is to go ahead and take your body weight and multiply it by 10. That's the simplest way to get a rough idea of your basal metabolic rate. If you know how to get your basal metabolic rate through other apps or through other measures, go ahead and use that. But for those of you that don't know how, that's the simplest way. So for example, a basal metabolic rate, I'm going to use an example of 2,000 calories. Basal metabolic rate is the exact rate in which your metabolism goes for you to maintain weight if you were to not move at all day. So if it takes 2,000 calories to maintain weight, that's your basal metabolic rate. Okay, we're not adding any multiples for exercise or anything right there. I want you to eat at your basal metabolic rate during week 1. Okay, and remember, this is only for 4 weeks, so even if we get tight on calories, it's going to be short term, okay? Then what I want you to do for week 1 is I want you to have a liquid breakfast. Okay, this is going to make a big difference in gut motility, and it's going to kickstart these processes, get some digestive enzymes going, get the process started. When I say liquid breakfast, I mean do something along the lines of a protein shake, something along the lines of a bulletproof coffee, fat coffee kind of thing. Get your calories that way, and I'll break down the macros a little bit more here. I want you to train fasted, okay? Get up in the morning, work out. If you already work out, if you don't work out already, I don't want you to even implement workouts yet. You heard me right. The reason is I don't want you to add too many variables into the mix at once. I want the diet to do the work, and then I want to progressively add workouts in. So if you don't work out, don't add workouts yet. If you are working out, the only thing I want you to do is make sure you're training in a fasted state. And if you absolutely cannot train in a fasted state due to a crazy schedule, I want you to train 3 hours fasted. So if you train in the afternoon, make sure you finished your meal at least 3 hours prior. Absolutely no dairy during week 1, which is going to be tough. Okay, week 1 is strict. Week 1 is tough. No dairy. We have to keep it super clean. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get the ketones flowing in a really clean way. I'm trying to modulate inflammation the best that I can so that the next couple of weeks have a more powerful effect. Here's what your macro breakdown should look like. Okay, I want 70% fat, 25% protein, and 5% carbs. This is how your calories should be allocated during week 1. Mostly fat, a decent amount of protein, and very little bit of carbs, okay? Very simple. And I want this split out over 4 meals. Nothing crazy. Here's what we're going to do. In terms of supplementation, I want you to preserve all of your vitamins till the end of the day. Don't take anything in the morning. Okay, I want food to do the work. At the end of the day, you can take magnesium, potassium, a whole food form of vitamin C. So we're talking like acerola cherry, anything like that that you can find. Trust me, if you just Google or go to Amazon and search whole food vitamin C, you'll find it. And then an omega-3 of some kind. I'm not going to get nitpicky on what kind of omega-3. You need to have the omega-3s in to stimulate protein synthesis, okay? So you're gonna break this down into 4 meals. We're not doing traditional 6-meal bodybuilding style cutting. We're not doing 3 square meals here, we're doing 4. So your first meal is going to be after your workout, and it's going to be 15% of your overall calories for the day. Okay? So of all the calories you should be eating, 15% need to be coming in that first meal. Then 25% of your calories come in with lunch. Okay? Then another 25% later in the afternoon. Okay, I want at least 3 hours between these meals. And then a larger chunk of them, 35% coming from dinner. All broken down as close to evenly as possible with the 70-25-5. Okay? It's very generic for week 1. It's just strict. Okay? Super, super strict. That's the only thing that's really fascinating about week 1. Then we move into week 2. This is where things get a little bit trickier. 2 times per week, I want you to do an 18-hour fast. You can go 16 if you want to. Okay, but basically what I want you to do is take 2 days out of the week, not back to back, and implement intermittent fasting. Strategically, we're not adding more. Even if you've done fasting before, we need to go back to baseline here. Okay, most of your calorie deficit is simply going to come from these fasting days. Okay, so when you break your fast, I want you to eat only protein. No fats, no carbs, only protein. So you're remaining ketogenic, but just trust me on this. Okay, then 1 hour later, go ahead and eat a normal meal. Go ahead and eat what a normal dinner might look like, or maybe a mid-afternoon snack, and then resume to your normal dinner. Ideally, I would like you to only be having 1 meal on your fasting day. So try to fast all the way through dinner, have your meal, which should be basically your dinner, and then that's it, okay? So with the exception of the fasting days, okay, forgetting about those for a second, your normal days, the 5 other days of the week, I want you to reduce your calories 10% from where you were at week 1. So again, if your basal metabolic rate is 2,000 calories and you reduce it 10%, you're reducing it 200 calories. So you're now going to eat 1,800 calories if that was your number. Obviously, it would be different depending on what your basal metabolic rate is. So we're slight calorie reduction, but a pretty aggressive calorie reduction at the end of a week considering we've added fasting. Okay, dairy is now okay in week 2. Your macros slightly change. 65% fat, 30% protein, 5% carb. Okay, so what we've done is we've reduced the fat a little bit and we've increased the protein to stimulate thermogenesis, to get the body starting to burn more fat from a body heat perspective. And we've reduced the dietary fat that's coming in, so we stimulate the body to actually use its own stored fat. This is a very critical thing. As you get keto adapted and in ketosis, you want to slowly start reducing your fat if you're trying to lose body fat. If you're trying to just maintain, you can keep it neutral. During week 2, you're going to do 3 meals, not 4. I want longer gaps between the meals. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 square meals with nice long gaps in between. You're going to get a little hungry, but hunger means that hunger means that basically your glucagon, the hormone that's going to allow you to burn fat, is going up. We need to be a little hungry. It's okay. This is a fat loss regimen. You should be a little hungry if it's short term like this. Okay? Slight breakdown. 25% of your calories coming from the morning meal. A good chunk coming in breakfast this time. Okay? So again, you can use your tracker, whatever you need to use. Lunch, you're going to go ahead and you're going to do 20% of your calories. So breakfast is bigger than lunch. And here's what I want you to do with lunch. Make it mostly protein. Reduce your fat a little bit. Try to make a concerted effort to not add a bunch of fats. At the end of the day, you still want to be at this 65-35% ratio, but we do want more fats coming with breakfast and less fats coming with lunch. What that does is, again, spikes the body to utilize those ketones, those fats, and then slowly deprives them of the fats for a little bit, and then allows you to burn some fat there. Supplements again, magnesium, potassium. I want you to add DIM if you're a male. DIM, you can get it on Amazon, diindolylmethane. Just type in DIM supplement, okay? You want to take probably 300 milligrams or so of that. It's going to help modulate estrogen. Got to get the omega-3s, the fish oil. Now, when it comes to the meat, this is where it's really important. Get meat that is high in omega-3. If you go to the grocery store and you get normal beef, it's not high in omega-3. It's high in omega-6 because that beef is generally grain-fed. You have to get grass-fed, grass-finished beef. Okay, I say have to, but you really should. Okay. Now, for those of you that are watching this video, I did work out a deal with ButcherBox. So in the description, there is a discount link for you to get grass-fed, grass-finished beef delivered to your doorstep through ButcherBox. And it's literally cheaper than going to the grocery store. And it goes right to your doorstep. So you don't want to miss out on that. Very high quality, grass-fed and grass-finished, which means the cows are not eating any grain or any soy or any corn. You want to be leaning on that kind of meat. And they have chicken too, okay? So they've got really good quality meat. So you don't want to miss out on that. Special link for those that are doing the 4-week keto cut. Don't miss out on that. Okay, now in terms of workouts, I want you to add 1 day per week high intensity interval training. Okay, probably 30 minutes or so of that. If you're already working out, you add this on top of that. If you are not working out, you add this on top of it. Okay, so no matter who you are, you're adding in 1 day of HIIT. Okay, that's it. That's it. You're just trying to do the most with the least. If we add a bunch of diet changes and a bunch of workout changes all at once, we pull out all our stops at one time and we never have a progression. The whole reason I'm doing this is for good accountability. Okay, let's go ahead and let's migrate on over to week 3 now. So week 3, simple. We're continuing with 2 times per week fasting. We're not adding anything crazy. We're not adding a 3rd day. We're keeping 2 days per week of intermittent fasting, the rest of the week similar to week 2. I'll explain in a second. If possible, if you're up for the challenge, I highly, highly recommend adding in 1 24-hour fast. Do you see what I'm doing here? I'm trying to get the calorie deficit to occur through fasting rather than through general calorie restriction. If we get our caloric deficit through fasting, instead of just whittling away our calories, we get all these protective benefits of fasting. Fasting preserves muscle. Calorie restriction eats muscle. By simply fasting a little bit, we encounter some new mechanisms and metabolic drivers that actually preserve our muscle more. So that's why I'm adding fasting in instead of just shrinking your calories down. Very important. If you can do that, you will see amazing results. But I understand it's not for everyone. I'll explain in a second. I don't want you to alter the calories otherwise. You're going to follow week 2 the same way in week 3. Okay? You're just going to follow exactly what you were doing. What I do want you to do workout-wise is I want you to add 15 minutes at 65% maximum heart rate cardio on your lifting days. You might be wondering, I don't do any lifting already. So what should I do? If that's the case, you want to go ahead and you want to add 15 minutes of cardio 2 days per week. Okay? So now you're still doing your HIIT from the week before and you're adding 2 times just traditional 15 minutes of cardio. Nothing fancy. You see, I'm only adding 15 minutes. If you already go to the gym, add 15 minutes to your post-workout cardio. Okay? If you are someone that can't do the 24-hour fast, you just can't wrap your head around it, you just feel like it's just too much, and Thomas, you're asking me to do a lot here. That's fine. If you cannot do the 24-hour fast, I recommend that you reduce your overall calories throughout the rest of the week by 5%. So then you're at a 15% decrease from when you first started. So the reason I have you do that is people are going to get a benefit from the fast. If you can't do it, I still want you to have good results with this, so reduce those calories 5%. Then at the end of the week, this is where it gets kind of fun, guys, 1-time keto cheat. What I mean by that is have a caloric surplus at the end of week 3, but no carbs. Caloric surplus. We're just spiking up the metabolism a little bit, getting some leptin response going. I want you to be at a surplus of 200 to 300 calories that day. What that means is if you were to look at your overall target calories where you should be for this week, I want you to be about 300 calories above that. We're doing this for a reason. So what I recommend doing is this is your time to have a keto cupcake or make some keto cookies or something like that. Have a couple extra calories, enjoy a keto treat, but do not, I repeat, do not go out of ketosis. Now let's move into week 4. Week 4 can be complicated if you want it to be. So I'm going to break this down kind of two chunks here. I'm going to have a portion in here that talks a little bit about sodium manipulation. And the reason that I add this is maybe you're someone that wanted to do this 4-week keto cut to get ready for a specific event. Maybe you wanted to look good in a bathing suit on a specific day. Maybe you wanted to look good on stage. Okay, the reason that I do this is because you need to understand that even when you're like trying to get in great shape, you can water manipulate to make yourself look a little better. You look at my photo shoot pictures, my photo shoot videos, things like that. Yeah, I'm at my best because you manipulate water a little bit. I stay lean most of the time, right? but when I'm getting ready for a shoot, I can manipulate my minerals, my water, to look even leaner because I can drop some water weight. I'll show you how to do that. You don't have to worry about the sodium if you don't want to play around with that. So, week 4, you're adding a third fast, 16 to 18 hours, same length, 16 to 18, but don't do them back to back, okay? So don't go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. 3 intermittent fasting days, okay? No long-term fast, no 24-hour fast, just 3 intermittent fasting. The other days, still following the same calories as week 3, okay? You're not changing anything on your regular days. I want you to drink about 20% more water than you normally would, no matter who you are. And if you want to sodium manipulate a little bit and get more of an effect, you want to have days 1 through 3 adding extra salt, okay? 2 teaspoons extra per day. I want a lot more salt on days 1 through 3. What this is going to do is it's going to get your body adapted to salt. It's going to create what's called an isotonic state. So you have all this extra salt coming in. Then later in the week, when we remove the extra salt, your body overcompensates and makes it so that you dry out and look even leaner. So add the extra salt days 1 through 3 of week 4. Add the extra water. What I would recommend you do is train your full body. If you already lift, go into the gym 4 days per week during week 4 and do legs and upper body. Okay, you don't need to do a whole lot. I'm not going to get into reps and sets. All I'm going to say is keep your workout length the same length that normally would be, but try to hit your whole body. All we're trying to do is deplete extra minerals and deplete any extra glycogen. So simple. Then on day 4 of week 4, bring your salt back to normal. So remember, you added salt day 1, 2, 3. Day 4, just bring it back to normal. That's the only thing. You're just going normal. Don't overthink it. Don't reduce it. Just reduce it from the extra you added. Okay, then days 5 through 7, this is where it gets complicated. Increase your macros to 50% fat, 50% protein, okay? Really simple. You're gonna have a couple carbs in there, okay? They're just gonna appear, but for all intents and purposes, we're not trying to get any of them. I want lower fat and higher protein, and what that's gonna do is create a diuretic effect. Protein is a diuretic. It draws water into the muscles. So by increasing the protein and dropping the fat, not only do we burn more fat for a short amount of time, but we also draw water into the muscle. Okay, that's going to really make you look a lot more hard, a lot more dense. Otherwise, then when it comes down to maintaining, I should say, like if you got to your goal and you like how you look, the best way to maintain close to this, okay, again, I'm being honest here. You're going to look really good here, and you're not going to be able to maintain that. You're not going to be able to maintain that forever. But what you can do is you can maintain close to it. And what I want you to do is just use week 1 as your baseline. That should just be your standard macros, and then you add 2 to 3 days of fasting. Okay, you're here. If you just stick at week 1 and add some fasting 2 to 3 days per week, you're gonna maintain. You're gonna do really good. So whether you are doing this cut or you're maintaining, I still do recommend higher quality meat. And I have to throw a big shout out to ButcherBox for being super cool to people that are embarking on this journey. Like, they're really hooking it up. They're giving you money off. They're giving you some free bacon, I think some free barbecue bundles. So honestly, just some really cool stuff. So check them out, link down in the description. I would love to do more videos like this, but I'm gonna be honest. I know that I'm gonna get destroyed in the comment section because I am not doing what everybody specifically wants. Like, I can't make everybody happy. So I'm gonna read through those comments, and there's gonna be things that are like, hey, what the heck, you left this out. Or I ask you to please have some faith in me that I'm doing the best I can to give general information. This is not a direct meal plan, but this is a heck of a lot more than what you normally see on YouTube from people. So please, just a little respect there. And yeah, that's all there is to it. 4 weeks to getting at least a little bit leaner, if not totally shredded. All right, I'll see you soon.